with Have You Seen My Film, a Kinema podcast. And today we're talking to Ray Kuglar. He is a Houston-based unit stills photographer with over a decade of on-set experience. Ray helps film productions capture stills that get noticed by audiences, festivals, and distributors alike. And I met Ray back in August, I think. Was it August, Ray? When was the Houston Media Conference?
You know what? I have the paper right here.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. But he caught my attention. We don't know each other. We hadn't met yet. But he was giving a presentation, and it was called Unit Stills Photographer, Why You Need One on Set. We'll dig into what the talk was about. But once I saw what it was about, I was like, I need to meet this guy. I need to go to this talk. So now he agreed to come on and share some of what he talked about on this podcast. So Ray, thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so part of the reason why I wanted to have this conversation and hear what you were telling filmmakers is we always, when we see the films come on our platform, we can only have access to the marketing materials that they send us. And oftentimes they're a bit lacking. And sometimes we'll only get maybe 2 or 3 stills. So to me, this is incredibly important for everyone to understand why it's important to collect these types of materials on set. But to start at the basics, what is a unit stills photographer?
Okay, the big question. A unit stills photographer is a professional photographer that you bring onto set to capture any and all of the high quality stills that you need to market, advertise, and sell your film.
Okay, that's easy. That's straightforward. And why do we need a unit stills photographer? Why do you need a separate photographer instead of just having the director do it or a producer or someone's cousin?
For the same reason that every other position exists, one person, one job, somebody to focus on solely that one thing. You don't want, like I see a lot of people having their ACs or their grips trying to do stuff, and then it's like, you're going to miss something. Just have somebody that's dedicated. That's why the position exists. It's not like some made up thing, you know what I mean? So
I get it.
You want somebody to do it. So
cool. And what type of content are you capturing? Is it just stills? You said high quality stills.
High quality stills, right? Yeah, because you don't want to be pulling from the motion cameras. You want to be pulling from the stills cameras for that material. It's a different look. It's higher quality. Not to say that moving images aren't high quality, but you can tell a difference, and it will make a difference when you go to put it on a poster or on a billboard or wherever it's going to go. You want it to look nice, and the way for it to look nice is by having a stills photographer. And as far as what we're capturing on set, it's publicity stills, so shooting during the scenes. It's behind the scenes images, so process of how the project is made. And it could be with art department or with like the prop guys. If you're going to take like a photo of a character as a kid and it's going to be on the wall and they're going to be interacting with it, you could be using that facet too. So
okay, so it's not, so let's say talent. So are you getting talent while they're like actually on the set, in the scenes, acting, and that might go into the marketing materials, but also talent behind the scenes, kind of hanging out with each other. Like when you said the crew, this is the crew, like putting the props together. All of these are being used for what purposes?
Well, for the publicity side of things, yeah, you're capturing talent during the scenes. I mean, you want to be able to capture while the scenes are going, which, that's why you need a good mirrorless camera. And if you're not shooting mirrorless, you're going to have to get a blimp. That's before my time for the most part. So,
what are the difference? I clearly am not in production. What do those 2 cameras do?
So a mirrorless camera is like how most of the digital cameras are now. Mm-hmm. Your Sonys, Nikons, Canons, all that stuff. Most of them are mirrorless, which means that they operate silently. Back a couple of years ago, when it was just a DSLR and you could hear the mirror clicking, you can't have that on set when somebody's talking because it's just going to make noise, right? So photographers would have to put their cameras in blimps, which are similar to like an underwater housing, if you've ever seen one of those.
Oh, yes, I have seen these, yep.
To blanket the sound so that it doesn't make noise.
That is so funny. I actually have seen those, did not know that's what it was called, and that makes complete sense. You'd said something kind of funny in the description about how the etiquette of moving around a set without disturbing. What is that? What do you mean by that?
So set etiquette. Yeah, you don't want to get in the way. You don't want to get in the way of the production because you're not technically part of the production. What you're doing as a unit stills photographer has no bearing on what the production is doing. You're there to capture it. So you don't want to get in the way of the people who are making the movie or the project or the short film. You want to be able to navigate and just stay out of the way, stay out of actors' eye lines if they don't want you there. It's reading the room and it's being friendly with everybody on set.
So you got to be a good personality too, know when to disappear, when to reappear. then who do you take direction from? Like a head of publicity asking you for certain shots, the director asking for a certain mood?
It depends on the project. It depends on the project. It depends on who's all there. If there's a publicist, yeah, you would take directive from the publicist who would tell you like, hey, on these days we need X, Y, and Z. If you're not working with a publicist, maybe it's a smaller crew, there's no publicist, maybe the director's going to give you stuff, the producer's going to give you stuff. And if none of that exists, if they just say, hey, just go out there and do what you do, then you just go out there and do what you do.
Oh, great. And we do, we get a lot of first time filmmakers or early in their career filmmakers, or even some more seasoned filmmakers that are, choosing to release direct to audience through us. And so they're very budget conscious. So can you give me an idea of what percentage of a budget or what should a line item be for a unit stills photographer? And I'm assuming it's based on the length of time in the set.
Yeah, it's 100% just going to be based on all of these things. How many days are you guys filming? What does your budget look like? How much have you allocated? Those are all production questions, not so much my question,
Okay.
or like something that I could answer.
Is there a minimum amount you would work for, or like a minimum amount that you require?
Generally, yes. Generally, my rate starts at 500 to 650, depending on the size of the budget, and then also a kit fee. But I work with productions who maybe can only afford 250 a day, and they're not going to give me a kit fee, and I'm going to edit. So like it's, and hey, some productions I work for free, and then I'm spending money if there's like something, I've read the script, there's something that I know I want. Okay, maybe I want to get an extra little piece of gear, specific lens. I'll spend money.
Oh, wow.
Give my time to go get that thing because I want it too, right?
Yeah, you're going to get hit up now for people to be like, well, my film is amazing. Please just do it for free.
If I like the script and it's in town, I would be happy to. If there's traveling involved, I better get a hotel room.
Okay, fine. But I would like to advocate for paying artists. So,
yeah, 100%. 100.
So make sure whoever's hiring Ray, make sure they pay at least something.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, roughly 5 to 650 a day plus a kit fee. Usually I start at 650. I will come down to 5, and then if I have to keep going down, I'll keep going down. But that's, again, usually I reserve that for people that I know and the people that are hiring me.
I think that's fair. It's also it's tough when you're putting together a production. You're trying to be as conscious as possible. We tell people a lot. Save a percentage of your budget for marketing and distribution. So I've heard 10%. I've heard 50%. It really depends on what you can raise and what you're thinking about the audience for your film and how you want to distribute. My point is that if you're already raising 10 to 50% of your budget for marketing and distribution, this to me falls in that. Like this is part of that strategy. So what happens to these photos once you deliver them? Like you mentioned publicity. Do any of them go in, I guess, tell me a little bit, social media, poster, where do they all go?
Yeah, so they end up in different places. You said it. Social media is probably the number one avenue that you see people using this material. Posters.
Uh-huh. Then
you get your festival packets, your EPK packets. Those are the main things. I mean, you get billboards every once in a while. It depends on the project. What do they want to do with it? Where do they want it to go? How do they need it to function? So those are the main, though.
Okay. And so I know your role happens on set, but part of what you're doing is planning for the future. You're planning when the film now has a style, like a tone. They're trying to reach audiences and kind of explain to them what the film is about, done through images and words. So are you involved anymore at that point, or is it really like off with the marketing people?
For me, most of the people that I work with, I keep myself involved. On bigger productions, it would be just a handoff. You're going to cull it down, send it out. Photo editor is going to take it, and the publicist is going to take it, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And then you wait and see what they use, and they make all those decisions. But on the smaller projects, on a lot of the projects that I work on, I'm heavy-handed in my involvement. I want to read the script if there's a script. If there isn't, if they don't want to share it, I can show up and just kind of do what I'm going to do. Photograph everything that I can, get all of the materials that I need, come back at the end of the day or for the next couple of weeks, going over the materials, editing the materials, processing the materials, waiting for a look. If the camera department and the DP then sit down with their colorist and say, this is the color palette of the film. If they don't have that information on set, go back and adjust, try to make it match as close as possible. Because you don't want your photo to be blue and then like the scene's orange, right?
Right. Good point.
They need to match. So like having all that stuff. And then me personally, will separate all the things, all the photos, and say like, hey, this is maybe for more first timers. Like, hey, I think this is great. I think this is great. I think this is great. I think you could use these here. But for the most part, once it goes there, yeah, you kind of just let them do their thing. For the younger guys, some of them I have spent the extra time like
To guide
coaching.
them based
Yeah.
off of the hundreds of films you've worked on. That makes sense. And then what we're also starting to see more and more. Well, we know we need more content to help promote. I think the filmmakers need more content to help promote because in order to capture attention and reach audiences online, you have to be repetitive. First, you have to drive curiosity, have something interesting to show them, have something interesting to say, bring them in. But to do that, it's a combination of clips and photos and storytelling, sometimes told over months and sometimes told over LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. And all of those platforms are starting to get more video oriented. So do you think that in the future you would start to do on-set video in addition, like behind the scenes? Oh, wait, no.
No,
Or how should okay, great. Not at all.
no, not me personally. Like I say that, but then literally last week I was doing a job for FIFA and World Cup, and my responsibilities were publicity stills and then social stuff. So they had, an iPhone rig ready to go
Uh,
and a script for talent that I'm, reading and being a camera guy, which is fine because, I'm moonlight as a DP and like a cam op and all these other things when I'm not photographing. So it's okay with me. But I don't think the general stills photographer is going to show up and be like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, let me get a bunch of videos and stuff too. There's a whole other position for that. There's a whole other person that needs to be doing those things because let's say you're like, oh, we want BTS of this. And then it comes time for where's that photo? And you're, well, I was doing BTS. How could I get the photo? Now you're shooting yourself in the foot by, again, having somebody split a position, which is never what anybody wants to do.
yep. No, that makes sense. Again, that goes back to the roles. Like the one job, still as photographer, focus on that. If you want someone getting BTS video, that's a whole nother role. Makes me think of like the DVD extras when we used to have those back in the day.
For sure. And I think now everybody has a phone on set. So, like, everybody wants to show their friends what they're doing. If there's one thing that, like, I almost loathe is the amount of stuff that you see come off of a set when it's like the day of and we've shown everybody what you're doing and everybody's seen everything. And now there's no reason for me to watch your project because I saw it all online.
Oh wait, are you seeing this stuff that's actually getting leaked online too? Like
I mean,
it's overexposure, like intentionally or accidentally from cast and crew.
if there's no contract, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. But like, yeah, mostly from cast and crew who want to show off, here's what I'm doing today. Look at this set. Here's this thing. And my friend recorded this during the scene. It's like, what are you doing? You're showing everybody everything. There's no surprise anymore.
That's what I want. Wait, we're gonna be very different on this one. I like that's really that's what creates curiosity, and also it's still to me like I love the debate on this. A lot of this content's like a cotton candy. It disappears quickly. And so
Hmm.
as you're scrolling through your phone, you're gonna get bits and pieces. You're not gonna have the remember the scene or have the sets or the context to know the things that were important. Later, you might have a mental callback to it when you watch it. But in the moment, it's just kind of helping build curiosity and connection to the characters, to me, because that's why I'm so interested about getting more content from the sets or from the production, because we need there's so many more of those touch points to capture audience attention. But what you bring up, like, we talk about a lot of like, well, is it overexposure? Will people even see the film if they feel like they've already seen everything already? And so you think you want to see a little bit less? That's your perspective.
Yes.
Okay.
Short
Okay.
answer. Short answer.
Straightforward.
Yes, I want to see less, but I want to see like quality over quantity. I don't want to see a video from every person on set. I want to see like a curated, ideal rollout of how you want it. You know what I mean? Like it's so wild, wild west with people. Anything goes, just show me everything. But me personally, I want to see a curated experience. As much time and care that you put into the craft of making your film, you should be putting into how you roll out the marketing of your film.
I think that's fair. Do you think so? There used to be. Did you do poster design? I think back. Did you say you also did poster design, or do you took the photos for posters?
Yeah, shooting key art.
Yeah.
Yeah, shooting key art, not creating it. Now I've done where, like for instance, Incorrigible. If you look behind me, this shovel is from that shoot.
Oh, cool.
Uh, they never took it home, so I have. It's mine now.
It's a great wall.
I've been building it recently. Where was I going? Incorrigible, they had a poster that lead talent had shot while they were filming, and it was like a cell phone thing, and they put it together, and then they came up to me and they said, hey, we want to redo this. And so I'd already seen what the layout was, what we were trying to make, and then just turned around and said, I got something perfect for you, and then made them what I made them, which was just a super tight extreme close-up of lead actress Gemma as her character, and we got a winner there.
And is that because you already had the photos from being on set?
No, I was not on set.
Oh, so they came to you and you're like, just fix this.
They came to me and they said, hey, we have a poster, but we need a better poster. Here's what we have now.
I got it.
Can you refresh this and do your thing? And I said, yes. And I did that shoot for free under the guise of like, you will come to me, we will do one photo, and that's it. Like, I will give you one photo and it will be the one. And, you know, within 30 minutes of shooting, it was edited and ready to go within like the hour out the door. It's like, knew it would work perfectly.
I mean, honestly, like the quality of work that you have and how you've been generous to share your time. But now you're saying you're going to work for free. I'm just saying you're going to get hit up a lot. So
I will work for free maybe if there's travel involved, and travel is taken care of to go to fun new areas where I can expand my reach.
this is perfect. Okay, cool. If they wants to take Ray on a vacation with them. Okay, so my question about the posters, though, there's been such a shift of, it used to be you'd go to the movie theater, you'd see posters in the lobby, or the posters were the main key art. Now on streaming platforms, it is a tile. It's a small tile. And so are you finding that the photos that you're using on set, are those making it to the tiles, or are you delivering them? Because the assets are just different on a streaming platform than they were previously. Does that impact your work at all?
I feel like I've always thought about it the same way. 10 years is not a long time to have been doing what I do. I think there are people who would tell you I am an infant in this role that I play, but it's always been the same. And streaming has always been a part of everything that I see. So all the streamer rails, and it's getting more prominent now. Like, I don't know do we talk about Netflix here?
You can talk about Netflix. Yeah, we like to talk about it.
So the new Netflix UI that they just updated is like, they've gone full screen. Here's the image, and then you scroll and you see it, and then it pops the trailer or whatever, and you keep going. So it is becoming more and more vital and crucial that you have high quality stills from your production to use in these environments. And yes, some movies don't have them. We'll just do like straight up key art shoots or gallery shoots, but you can maximize your production time, your talent's time. You can maximize everybody's time and budget if you have a photographer on set.
I think, nope, I like it. You have a very a clear point that has been proven correct. And we actually, it's funny, the next person we're going to interview on this podcast, she designed those tiles for Netflix.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So it was like, there's a perfect key up or tee up to her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you just see it. It's just becoming more and more common. I mean, streaming is going off the rails, which, you know, streamer rails, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that is really just key art, though, right? At the end of the day, and then it'll progress and it'll change, and you know, they're going to try to market it to you one way or another. You didn't click on it this time. Let's give you a different character. It's good to have options. You want to be able to tell the story in photographs because, again, this is how we've been able to sell movies since the beginning of Hollywood, is through the photograph.
It is so true. It used to be poster and one sheet and trailer. And now we have all the other, now it's clips and tiles also on the streaming platforms. I think we've covered this pretty well, and the importance of a unit stills photographer. You need to hire an individual to have on your set for whatever time frame that can fit your budget, so that you can give yourself the best opportunity to create the strongest marketing materials when it comes to your release. Ray, is there anything else you think filmmakers, marketers, and distributors should know?
Two of the lines that I really like and that have been weighing on me recently is that stills are the bridge between production and the audience.
I like that.
And to backpack on that, or to piggyback on that, more people will see your key image than they will your final project.
Ooh, that one like hurts, but is accurate because you're right. It makes sense. Just from an impression marketing standpoint, yeah, that is true.
And I don't have the facts to back that up, so don't quote me. But I mean, think about it. Yeah, if everything is television and you're scrolling all the time and that's it, split second. What is that? What is that one image? What is that one image that just doesn't spoil the movie or the project, but brings people in?
Ooh.
I feel like the one thing that I want tell people is actually to the young actors.
Ooh, let's do it.
I think young actors need to stop behaving like every time you see a stills camera that it's for your scrap album.
Okay, is this a thing that happens?
Yeah. I mean, and it's fine. You want those candid moments off screen. Little, hey, what's up? That type of stuff. But like when you're there and you're working and you're in character, stay in character. Like before the slate clicks, before they call cut, or right after they call cut. These moments that are like split-second moments before and after a scene can like make or break the type of image that you can get from being hey to dialed in character. You know what I mean? I don't know. Does that?
Ooh, no. I mean, no, that's great. I never thought about. I'm not on a lot of sets, but I can understand when you have, especially a younger generation that is used to always being on camera, always striking a pose, and now having to shift to character, but they see a camera, might fall back into that. Okay, no, this is really good advice to all the young actors out there.
And I'm not trying to tell anybody how to act, but these little like split-second things where if you can just stay in character, you'd be surprised at the type of images that you can get in that split second. They're good for everybody. They're great for production. They're good for you as an actor. If you don't have a lot of photos of yourself on set, or if all the photos that you have of yourself on set are what I'll call scrapbook photos, you will appreciate to have a photo of you in character doing your thing so that other people can see, oh, that's what they look like. Okay, great. Yeah, I love that. Let's get them.
And they look at, I guess they're doing their job. They're doing their profession, their professional photos. They can get a selfie anytime.
Yeah.
Ray, where can people find you online to hit you up for not free work?
Not free work. You can find me at raykuglar.com. That's RAYKUGLAR.com. And then Instagram, Ray Kuglar, and Facebook, Ray Kuglar. I think everything's just Ray Kuglar.
Just Ray Kuglar. You were very Googleable. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And thank you again. Take care.
Thanks, Christie.
And that's our episode. Thank you to our special guest, our producer and editor, Ron Pissarro, and you, the filmmakers, creators, marketers, and distributors that are dedicated to connecting audiences with great films.